Inventions are beautiful. We've been inventing for over 300,000 years, and every single invention has gotten us somewhere. Every single invention fulfills one of our needs or makes it easier to access. So think of fire. It made it easier to cook food, which made it easier to chew, which meant less time spent chewing. Think of the Industrial Revolution. We had machines do the physical labor that we used to do. Think of religion. We have Catholicism, we have a lot of religions to get people together and communicate over that single idea. So for example, if I am if I am of one religion from here and there's someone else in the exact same religion following the exact same rules in India, we'll be able to communicate. We're able to unite over that singular purpose. Now, this was very useful, very, very useful in the past, and it helped us get where we are now. But where is it gone now? There's no sense of unity anymore. Everybody wants to be everybody wants to be unique, but at the same time they're striving to be a part of a group. Does that make sense? So, for example, if you're black, you're seen as unique. But if everyone starts saying they're black, or if everyone starts saying they're black, then was it really unique? In every social justice movement today, we take the minority and try to make it the majority. Think of it, women's rights movements. They've gotten so many rights since 1960, 1970, whenever it started. And now it's kind of going overboard. Like, you have the exact same rights, you have the exact same opportunities as we do. Yet people are fighting because they see small discrepancies in basic biology between guys and girls. Well, why are more guys billionaires? Because they work harder. Testosterone makes them work harder. You want to work that hard? Get testosterone. Tell me how it feels. Get the therapy. Oh, they earn higher because they work harder. It's simple. Think about any movement. I'm not going to mention them. You probably have any popping up in your head. Minority becomes the majority. But at the same time, these narratives that we make in our head, these, for religion, for example, these ideas of splitting people into unique groups, yet trying to make them a group, a social connection. It's been useful. But what about when that narrative is hurting our society? Female empowerment has been spreading everywhere. Everywhere you go, you'd see women doing better now than they were before. Why is that? I'm not sure, you might say that, they finally have their rights. They finally have the ability to do this. They've had it for over 70 years. Why is it that now, when they cross that line of rights versus overdoing the rights, and just giving them more opportunities because they're seen as weaker, does that seem fair? The only reason you would ask for those rights is because you were lacking something. And in doing this, you hurt men. Men are failing in pretty much everything now. Look at colleges. 69% of people in colleges are women. 69%. 31% are men. So that means if there's 100,000 people, it's not possible, but if there's 100,000 people in a college, 69,000 will be women, 31,000 will be men. Does that seem equal to you? Does it seem equal that 95% of people in jail are men? Does it seem equal to you that 95% of people on the streets are men? That the majority of jobs that include labor, that are low paid, that are high stress, are worked by men? Does that seem fair to you? The people who advocate for these rights, the people who try to go for it, every single company puts them down. Think of the big names. Andrew Tate was a huge one. He advocated for men's rights, men's men's way of thinking, trying to get them up. He was banned from every social platform. Every single one. Hamza said to get off of Instagram because it's hurting men's mental health. He got banned from Instagram. Sneeko said that every single company has some kind of bias towards, whatever's going on in the world now. He got banned on Twitter. You can find these exact same things online. And there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of these cases. Not just popular people, if any people saying it. Even though they're not saying it in a... They may be saying it in a nice way, but if it goes against the company's policy that they invent on the spot, or peer-reviewed policy, they get banned. The people with the most power today are not the ones who have the most money. They're the ones who control the algorithms for social media. The media has more control over us than we can realize. Look at COVID-19. What happened to COVID-19? We're averaging about 600, 700,000 cases per day right now. This was the exact same amount that we got around last year. And yet, when were we more scared about COVID-19? Last year. The media put it into our heads that we should be scared of this. They're able to control what we fear, what we feel, and what we want to see. They don't want to show us men's rights. Oh, we'll just ban them. They don't want us to see the truth. Oh, we'll just ban them. That's all they need to do. Remove accounts. If I say we've been brainwashed, it sounds like this is scripted. But that's just the truth. We've been brainwashed by these companies to do what they want. Whatever their narrative is, whatever they believe in is what we will have to believe in because that's what they're showing us. The algorithm is not just for whatever is trending at the time. It's for whatever the companies believe and is trending at the same time. So for example, if I have a video on men's rights and women's rights, and they both have 4 million views, they will show the women's rights more because they agree with that more. Every single thing in our daily life is controlled. If everyone is seeing these narratives, everyone has it ingrained in their mind, they'll convince everyone else that they meet to join that. And if they don't join that, they will never talk to them. They'll throw them away. They'll cast them aside. And this is probably why most successful people are extremely lonely. They go against the grits. They go against what society believes is true. Whatever's being put into our brains. Ever since the internet, ever since the ability to spread to millions, hundreds of billions of people has been invented, you don't just get the ability to see good news across the world. No one shows that anymore. What do you see happening across the world? 16 killed in Iraq. Terrorist bomber explodes a building. No one talks about how a 14-year-old kid adopted a dog who was disabled. No one talks about the one guy who cooks millions of meals per year to feed homeless people on the streets. No one talks about the religious temples providing shelter for those who can't afford it. Because that's not what they want to see. I'll give you an example you might resonate with. Right now, how many of you remember Kim Kardashian? No one has been talking about her. The biggest thing that happened to her was a divorce. That's it. She used to be the talk of everything, everyone knew her. But now, no one really talks about her. Because she doesn't fit within that narrative of what people want to see. And what the people want to see is what the companies promote, which makes them money. Kim Kardashian had kids, which goes against everything that, rap media, that every culture talks about. People say that the Disneyfication of relationships has happened. I don't think that's true. It's the opposite of what you believe it is. Instead, we have Disneyfication. Instead of monogamous, single relationships now, that was 60, 70 years ago. And look what they had then, single monogamous relationships. Now we have every single show you see. I've seen this with Marvel so much. The men act weak. They're promoting more women in these empowerment roles, in these leadership roles. Sure, yeah, I have nothing against that. But why is it that the majority of people on the Avengers team are females now? The rest are dead. Now, I'm kind of talking about, I'm going around about Avengers. But this just tells you, this shows physical proof of where this is heading. In the last 5 years, they've removed 4 or 5 main lead male characters, and they've only removed 1 female character. 1. In the latest show that they released, She-Hulk, she goes on to date multiple men. And she's shown carrying those men, taking care of those men like they're her children. What do you think that's putting into our young boys' minds? What do you think that's putting into our young girls' minds? We're telling men that they're supposed to be weak, that they're supposed to be held by the women of our society. We're telling the women that they're supposed to hold the men. There's going to be a male uprising. It's already started. It's going to be by the people who support Andrew Tate, who realize what is going on. Who realize that every single narrative is being pushed into your brain, making men weaker, making women stronger. And it's none of their fault. It's not men or women's fault. It's the company's faults. Whatever they want, they put out.